Tonight, the two candidates vying to replace outgoing Republican Senator Rob Portman went head-to-head on the debate stage.
We have to rebuild the great American middle class. Ohio has always led the way. We've got great things happening in Ohio.
At the end of the day, the question here is whether we need new leadership in this state.
This was the only statewide debate that Democrat Congressman Tim Ryan and Republican J.D. Vance will have. NBC4's Colleen Marshall was one of the moderators for tonight's debate in Cleveland. As she explains, both candidates say they want Ohio to succeed, but have vastly different plans on how to make that happen.
Well, this is what's happening now at the Fox 8 studios. But earlier this evening, the two men who want to be the next senator from the state of Ohio, J.D. Vance and Tim Ryan, met on the stage in this very studio. It was sometimes contentious, but it also showed stark differences in their campaigns. Inflation and the economy top of mind for Ohio voters and at the top of the debate.
I believe we've gone in a fundamentally bad direction over the last couple of years. I think people deserve to go to the grocery store without it completely breaking the bank.
You can sit here and argue about why it's here. It's a global phenomenon right now. We need to cut taxes for working people, okay?
And the issue that divides the candidates and the country, abortion.
I support going back to Roe v. Wade. That was established law for 50 years. And we didn't have all the chaos that we're having now.
Ryan accusing Vance of opposing abortion, even for a 10-year-old rape victim.
Why was a 10-year-old girl raped in our community, raped in our state in the first place? The thing the media and Congressman Ryan, they talk about this all the time. The thing they never mentioned is that poor girl was raped by an illegal alien, somebody that should have never been in this state in the first place.
Both Vance and Ryan have made China an enemy in their political ads.
The problem we're having now with inflation is our supply chains all went to China. And guys like him have made a lot of money off that. And that is exactly why the supply chains are locked up.
And yet Tim Ryan, when he ran for president, was it 2 years ago, you supported banning fracking, both on public lands and generally speaking. That crushes the Ohio energy sector, and that's one of the reasons why manufacturers are going to China.
Vance defended himself against accusations that he abandoned Ohio.
My business in Ohio has been involved in investing and supporting the creation of nearly 1,000 jobs just in our state and jobs elsewhere as well. I believe in investing in our communities, and I've actually put my money where my mouth is, taking a big risk by getting out of Silicon Valley and starting a business here in Ohio.
You're from Silicon Valley. You don't understand what's going on here in Ohio. You invest into China. You hire foreign workers. And you are funded by a Silicon Valley billionaire.
Ryan also blasted Vance for the company he keeps, like Ron DeSantis and Marjorie Taylor Greene.
This is a dangerous group, and we do need to confront it. And that's why I'm running to represent the exhausted majority.
What I do think is that the end result of Joe Biden's policies and the end result of his rhetoric is that, one, we hate each other a lot more than we did 2 years ago. That's a significant failure of leadership.
It seemed as if both men tonight played very well to their base. The question is, how did they play to the undecided voters, about 12% of them in the state of Ohio? We'll soon find out. Early voting begins on Wednesday. In Cleveland, local for you, Colleen Marshall, NBC4.
And so NBC4 State House reporter Natalie Fahmy watched the Senate debate with a strategist from each side of the aisle. She joins us now with more on their thoughts. Natalie.
Yeah, overall, each strategist thought the debate was a strong matchup. They tell me the topics that were touched on shed light on the position each candidate takes. Of course, the strategists agreed about some positions of the debate, but had differing opinions on others. Here's part of my conversation with them.
Tim Ryan had to do two things tonight, and he did them both. First, he had to show voters that he's a moderate, middle-of-the-road Democrat who will stand up for the rights of women and regular Ohioans and has been willing over and over again to break with his party whenever it's necessary. Second, he had to expose Vance.
JD kind of proved that he isn't the extremist that some people want to paint him as.
Throughout the debate, each candidate drove home points they feel strongly about. Democratic candidate Tim Ryan did not shy away from calling Republican candidate JD Vance an extremist on topics like abortion.
Extremist is a strong word, and that was a word that was thrown around a lot tonight. What do you think that will do for JD Vance to hear JD Vance, an extremist, used in sentences over and over again together?
Well, you can name call somebody, but when you look at him on the stage and you ask him about a bill and he goes into the specifics of what was wrong with it and why he wouldn't vote for it, that's giving people specifics.
And while Ryan took strong stances tonight, he was called out for what he said in the past.
A few times throughout the debate, he was asked, quote, why the flip on a few different topics. Do you see that as a downfall for Tim Ryan during tonight's debate?
Of course not. I think Ryan explained why he changed his posture on abortion. Tim Ryan is a very staunch Catholic, and for a very long time he took the church's posture on it. But he's now a congressman.
Where do you think they could have been stronger tonight?
Well, clearly there were a lot of issues that weren't touched upon that much, like crime and like energy, that I think they should have got more into. But for an hour long, the first and the main debate, I think they covered a lot of areas that gives people a chance to see both candidates.
I think that there were no major gaffes here by either candidate, and I think they both did probably what they wanted to try to do. So, in that sense, I think it was a good debate, and I think the people who watched it, and I hope there were a lot of them, the people who watched it, I think, came out the better for it.
The candidates did get into a few arguments on stage, but the strategists say it draws out the differences and is the true nature of a debate. To see the full analysis, you can visit your local election headquarters on NBC4i.com. Carrie?
Natalie, thank you much.